Very good evening. Today is day 5 of parenting Q&A session. I invited you all parents to ask me questions so that I can give you some tips, some suggestions from my side. You all have posted a lot of questions. Thank you for that. So I'll try to answer in brief whatever I can in this session. I'll be taking your questions and answering. By the way, in the chat, I have put the link of the Q&A form, like the question you want to ask me. If you have any other questions, or if you have joined just today, you can ask your questions in this format. I'll type this link again of the form. You can put your questions here. It is there in the chat. You can see that. Yeah, you can put your questions there. I'll take up one by one and answer your questions. So welcome, Anu. Thank you for joining. If you don't know me, I'm Veena BK. I'm parenting coach. I'm a life coach and a healer. I'm from Bangalore. So I have now more than 4,500 clients from 7 countries till now. So I've been into parenting. I'm a parent myself. I'm a parenting coach. I'm a life coach and also a healer. So just generally to guide parents. So why this parenting challenges come up? Mainly because of new age parenting challenges. This gadget addiction is a huge problem. Then children not focusing on studies. And with that, this online class format, the children are confused, parents are confused, and lack of physical activity and very low social interaction. Children are not let free to meet their friends, to play outside. So there's a different lifestyle happening now because of the external situation, as well as these new parenting challenges are there where children are exposed to the media. Even 6-year-old are being given coding classes. How it helps them, we don't know. So this is the kind of competitive atmosphere or competitive environment that children are exposed to. When their friends are doing so many things along with the academics, children are expected to have extracurricular, some activities, games, sports. So this is putting a lot of pressure, as well as the parents' lifestyle has changed. There is a lot of stress in the parents' life, and with all that, they have to cope their own routine life, and they have to adjust according to the children's routine. Children are very playful. Smaller children, they don't understand your priorities. So some difference of opinion, some clashes, or something which tests your patience, those incidents happen every day. So as parents, little guidance and support what I can give through the online medium I'm sharing here. Today is the Q&A session. Of course, I have many paid programs. If you are interested, get in touch. Whatever you need, it is there with me so that you can take the correct program for you. So coming to today's question, some questions you have asked, some 4-5 questions are there. I'll be taking that and giving you my answers and suggestions. So question number 1 is 10-year-old boy, extremely intelligent, but low tolerance and aggressive and always lashing out. Is he into playing video games? Sometimes there is a lot of aggression in video games which they try to imitate, or somehow in real life also that comes over in the behavior. It is seen when they start playing aggressive games. And aggression, if it is anger and behavior issues, is he following some role model, maybe in the house, in the family, or maybe he is copying his friends? We don't know from where he has learned this, low tolerance and aggressive behavior. So just understand the cause and the reason and how to deal with it. I'll guide you. This 10-year-old boy doesn't know what is right and wrong. Knowingly is not doing, unknowingly is doing. And you have told him, I suppose, parents would have tried to change the behavior, and you would have told him, you would have advised, you would have guided, but he is not listening to you. As a parent, what you can try, one of the parent, at least initially, when third persons tell the children, they understand sometimes. So one of the parent can become a friend. If the mom is always controlling and trying to discipline the kid, then dad can be like a friend and tell in a different way. So same way you are putting across your thoughts and the child is not listening, he needs a different approach. So one of the parent can take the gentler friend-like role and advise the kid, why are you doing this? Can you do this? Can you do that? Give him the alternatives. Okay, what is the problem? Talk to the child. What is the problem? How would you solve it? Are you really interested to solve it? Because this is not okay. Your routine is not okay. About whatever you are pointing him, for example, maybe he is not coming on time for breakfast, or not getting ready on time for his school, or he is with his gadgets all the time. So whatever your issue as a parent, whatever you are trying to correct in him, I presume he is giving back reply in an aggressive manner and he doesn't have low tolerance, always lashing out about all the issues. So you can explain to him, the other parent, I mean to say, one parent can be the strict parent and the other parent can advise him in a friendly way and get his cooperation, how to actually change his behavior. In a nice way, you have to talk to him and he should be willing. Unless this boy is willing, he will not do it, right? Otherwise, you keep yelling or shouting or controlling the child, and child in return, the child is also lashing out. So it is not leading to anywhere. Sometimes, other than the parents, if there are grandparents whom he has lot of affection, you can request your parents or your in-laws, like the dad's parents or the mom's parents, can advise the child in a nice way and try to develop some routine for him and also give him some allowance. Now this is pandemic situation, children are not having regular schools, so they are also bored, they are not meeting friends. So have an understanding of the child's frustration. You can start your dialogue with that. Okay, I understand something is, bothering you, you're not meeting friends, you're getting bored. Acknowledge his emotions, and you are angry, you're frustrated, all that you acknowledge, and it is okay. I accept you as you are. Can we do something about it? Should I help you out? Can I guide you? This is the way you have to approach the kid. And sometimes, like I said, rather than the parents, if you have tried it all and they're not listening, ask your parents or your husband's parents, like the grandparents, when they advise. In general, it may help, or it may be a family friend, and that family friend should not approach the child saying that your parents have complained to me, or they have given me a feedback about you, I want to come and talk to you. It should not be like that. In a friendly way, the child has to come out with his problems. That is what I do in my teen counseling. Like, I take some children, those are limited because I have to do one to one and I'm only single person who's doing this. So I take limited students, the children, and the children come out with their problems. They themselves start telling me, auntie, I'm angry, what should I do about it? I have 10-year-old, 11-year-old kids also with me. So gradually, first I become their friend, to just establish the rapport. It takes 1 or 2 sessions. After that, they start telling me whatever their problems their parents are pointing out. They come and ask me, auntie, I'm all the time with mobile, how to come out of this issue, and I always procrastinate. I think of studying, but I can't open the book and start studying. I get diverted. I get distracted. What should I do? They start asking me. Then I can give them solutions, as if this child wants solutions and he or she wants to change. It's not coming from the parents, right? So this way, a third person has to approach it. Maybe anybody, your family friend, and even the child likes it. Maybe your child's friend's mother. For example, one mother was there, the child was not studying, like not much interested in studies at home, and he was getting distracted. So she found out a way. Her son's classmate, his mother was her friend. So she sent his son to her house, like with arrangement. This was pre-COVID, of course. COVID was in the starting stage. Last year, I met a mother. She was sharing this with me. So I sent him to his friend's house where his friend's mother is there, and I had told my friend, that is his friend's mother, to take care of their assignments, and they both used to play for some time and do the assignment, and then this child used to come home. So it was win-win for everyone. This child got the company of his friend, and because she requested, her friend, the child's friend's mother cooperated, and both of them did the assignment. So this was the trick, like the mom used very cleverly, so that the child completes his assignment and is more serious about his studies. Everyone were happy in this situation. So like I said, seek someone. If you can have someone close to you and the child has to have confidence in that person, then the child will listen to him or her. Otherwise, as I said, I'm taking teen counseling, but for now, admissions are not happening because I'm a little bit preoccupied. Otherwise, I also do teens counseling. Then one of the twins, and 10-year-old is preteen, by the way, not a teen exactly. You can think of it as a preteen and a delicate age. After 8 years, this age is a bit tricky. They are neither here nor there. Teens, at least you can blame their, hormones and puberty, adolescent age, all that. These kids, they are trying to grow up, but neither they are grown up nor they are children. So 8 to 12 years is a tricky age, but actually parents can control, in the sense that you can channelize their energies. So overall guidance you can take from me, and you yourself can guide the child. You can join any of my paid programs. I'll guide you more there. Then one of the twins has a question. Okay, this lady has a twins, and one of the twins has a question always and says, why he is weaker than his brother? Why his toys break first? Oh, okay. Why his things spoil first? Why can't he complete his work quickly? All these kinds of questions, how to answer these? Okay, so these are twins, and he says his brother is he is weaker than his brother. So here, mother is not comparing. The child himself is comparing himself to the other teen brother. So this is a genuine problem from the child's perspective. Just think. So both of us get toys at the same time, but my toy broke. So with what should I play? It's a genuine disappointment for the child. How come I am subjected to all this? Why can't I complete my work quickly? Again, he is also not happy about his own way of doing things or his pace of working. So he is always constantly comparing. What these parents can do, each of the child has their own set of gifted abilities, right? Each child is special, each child is good in one or the other thing. So for each of the twins, neither that twin is lesser than this or this boy is not less than the other twin. So whatever good qualities is there, you parents, like I say, catch them right instead of catching them wrong. So highlight the good qualities, notice them in that kid, and also through stories, if they are below 8 years, even up to 10 years, stories will work very fine. So you can tell through stories like Rama was different, Lakshman was different. There are a lot of stories, or you can make up a imaginary story, or you can tell them a story where everybody is special, each person has different talents, and nothing goes a waste. Everyone can make use of their talent. So in a general way, you can guide. You need not compare to anyone. How to improve their self-worth, you can guide by way of some inspirational stories, and also you can give them examples, and in real life admire them and praise them for the qualities each one of them has. So whenever this guy comes and asks you, why am I not able to complete your work quickly, do not highlight that, tell it's okay, but beta, you are good in that. So if you are noticing your deficiencies, why don't you notice your strong points also? So guide him in this way and advise him to notice his own, count your blessings. Like we say, count your blessings. What are you thankful for? Okay, your toy broke. Don't focus on that. You can focus on what you have, what other toys you have. You can start, go and play with the other toy, and next time keep it carefully. You can advise him, okay, you see what your brother is doing and you keep it carefully so that it doesn't break. Some general advice like remove that comparison factor, instead inspire him, motivate him, and highlight his positive qualities, his best qualities, and also highlight the best qualities of the other child. Tell each one of them, you both are different, you both are special, you both are unique. You need not compare to each other. This everyday subtle messages has to start going to each of the child, so that they feel, okay, whatever I am special. It's not right to compare. Let them get that message every day, if required 2 times, 3 times, in a subtle manner. Use one story, or whenever this child comes crying, tell him, don't worry, you have other toys. You have to focus on the positive. Like day one, I think someone had asked a question about how to make the child think positive, how to ensure that my child has positive thoughts. So it's a process. Start that process and push them towards seeing the silver lining in the cloud, counting their blessings. So push this child to have that attitude and mentality where he thinks about his own positive qualities, what good things are there in his life, rather than concentrating and comparing to his brother. So in this manner, you do every day for about 1 month, 2 months. It's like, something like a hypnosis. You keep telling that, the child will start believing, the child will start thinking in new ways, and transformation will happen gradually. Anyway, your parents, you are with them all through the day, and you can, focus on only these things, what I just now advised, rather than, even when he comes with a complaint, do not focus much on that. You say it's okay, but what about this? You take them towards the things which they have to concentrate. Okay, that was a long answer. I hope you got the message. Yukta, thank you for joining. Welcome. Aparna, welcome. I'll be sharing the recording also if someone could not join. And put your questions in this format in the Google form. I have posted the link in the chat box. You can click on that and share your questions, please. Third question, ma'am, my elder son is 10 plus, doesn't want to follow any routine. And if I say anything, doesn't bother to listen to me also. And I'm tired of telling him and really don't know what to do. Should I guide him or stop saying anything? He simply don't want to improve. Okay, reward system will work. I've been telling. Reward is not actual reward every time. You can make a star system, make a routine. Okay, what I advise is make a routine, sit with him, discuss and make a routine. First, he doesn't follow, but he will make a routine, I presume. He'll sit with you, he'll talk and you negotiate and whatever main expectation you build into the routine, and he will not follow from tomorrow that you have tried. So it's okay, just push him little by little. Don't make him feel bad for not following the routine. Tell him, okay, out of this, at least something you start. Somewhere you have to start. This is your ideal routine. What will you start with from tomorrow? While making the routine itself, do this one thing for 1 week. Have breakfast on time 1 week. And every day when you complete breakfast by 9 a.m., mark 5 stars. Okay, give a star system. Put a chart on the fridge. Date wise, he can mark 5 stars. Whenever he doesn't have breakfast, it's okay. You need not highlight, see, today you did not do. Don't catch them wrong, catch them right. When he does do, appreciate. When he doesn't do, just ignore. And he cannot get the stars for that day. It's his own, like he will understand. It is in front of him. The chart is in front of him. He'll know when he has done, when he has not done. At the end of the month, total everything and get him some gift. For 100 stars, I'll give you something. Or for 200 stars, you can buy this toy or get a book to read, something, whatever he loves to buy, let him buy with that as a gift. So that you can start. One more tip I remembered, I'll tell you. Stop saying anything will not help. Stop saying anything, he'll become much more careless and not following anything. Maybe now he's following certain things, then he'll become even more carefree and free to do whatever he wants. Stop saying anything is not the solution. Because in my Zen parenting also, when I say be patient, be cool, mom, stop saying anything. Then I have to again nudge them. Day 2, day 3, I have a 7-day course. Then I have to tell them, no, you have to start gentle discipline also. Tell him with lot of patience, keep repeating. Do not shout, do not punish aggressively, but definitely advise him. If not 5 times, 10 times, 15 times, it is just now I said, na, that brainwash kind of a thing you have to do. It seems like nagging or pushing the child, but at least do not lose your temper. Keep telling repeatedly. This child will understand there must be some reason. And like while I was answering another question, earlier question, one of the parent can have a strict attitude and disciplining part can be taken care of by one parent. Other parent can deal with the child in a friendly way. So establish that between you both, you partners, communicate to your partner and have that stand. So when the other person tells in a nice way and genuinely ask him, sit with him like a friend. You also can do it. You, the strict parent, whoever is trying to impose, can also sit with him. Okay, better come here. What is the problem? Just yesterday we made a routine and you agreed. Out of the whole routine, you will do this one small thing and observe him. Don't ask him immediately. After 3-4 days, if he doesn't follow, call him and ask him what is happening, what is the problem, can I help you in some way, so that this routine will help you. You agreed when that day when we sat and wrote the routine together, you did agree, yeah, I can do it, but why are you feeling the problem now? How can I help you? So with this tone, in using these words, if you talk to him, you're not holding him responsible, you're not accusing him, you're not pointing out, see, you did not do, I knew it, you never listened to me. That is not your attitude. So try a different thing. I call this as pattern interrupt again. What you have always been doing, it's not working. And if you're still doing it, stop saying anything will make the matters worse. So you have to tell him in a gentle way. I hope you are in my 7 days course. There I'll be dealing with this in detail. I mean, this is an exhaustive thing, all 10 years. What attitude he has developed suddenly in 5-10 minutes, I cannot suggest. So come to that program, I'll guide you further there. My daughter doesn't take my orders but follows my husband's instructions. She thinks I am against her and feels I am always nagging. She's 12 years old. Okay, 12-year-old girl doesn't take my order. Okay, husband is instructing, you are ordering. In your own words, I'm saying that. So try the pattern interview. Tell her in a different way. And it's okay. In some cases, you assign the duty to your husband. Let your husband tell her what to do. Certain areas, it may be about her studies, your husband will take care. About her food habits and regular discipline, you will take care. You to change, you observe your husband the way he's telling and change your tone or change your words and start praising her in front of your husband. This will start creating magic in your household. Suddenly, you should somehow change the pattern by praising her, appreciating her for whatever she has followed as per your instruction. Even if she has followed your husband's instruction, Praise her for that also. Don't say, see, you told she is doing. When I said the same thing, she never followed. That is the way we normally feel and we express. But start telling, okay, good. She did what her father asked. I appreciate that. She really cares for us parents. So you and husband be on the same side. Let not the girl think mommy is different and dad is different and I'll be on dad's side and I want to leave mom out. No, nothing like that. You establish this with your partner. Whenever you say something, you both are talking the same things and giving the same instructions. So both of you be on the same side and praise her a lot. Maybe she's looking for some validation and she has an impression that mom is always correcting me or does not approve of me. So change that thinking by being a friendly mom. How to be a cool mom also I do teach. Yeah, you just change the pattern, change your voice, be friendly with her for a few days, try to understand her point of view, ask her, like I said just now, ask the child what is happening, any problem in doing, do you need my help, should I help you to complete the work? If you say your room is messy, clean it. Instead of that, can I help you in cleaning? Can we do it together? Or what time you want to do? When will you do it? This is the way you can ask the girl and take her cooperation. Okay. And yesterday there was one more question. I think it was a 10-year-old boy, and this child is lying. So I told, I promised yesterday, I'll answer today. I'll answer that question and then end today's session. So if you have joined today and if you have not yet posted your question, you can post. Link is in the chat box. For tomorrow is day 6 and final day. I'll take up your questions tomorrow. I'll answer that last question, which was about lying. Why is the kid lying? So now the parents know that the kid is lying. So kid is lying for some reason. It may be out of fear that parents will punish me, or the child may be doing it for a thrill. This 10-year-old is very explorative. Let me see what happens. And self-defensive behavior comes up and they start lying for some reason and they get the thrill. Suddenly they feel nice about lying, about making fool of people. Something they are doing, like children enjoy such things without realizing. Okay, they don't have that we think lying is a moral issue and how come my child can do this? We are not like that. We are very transparent and authentic. How can our child do this and what will happen in future? Normally we worry like that, but for a 10-year-old, he is just starting to do something. Of course, we cannot encourage, but the way we deal with it should be without tension. Don't take tension. First of all, this is my first advice to the parent. It is normal. I mean, some kids do that. Maybe they got their report card and they told you some different grade. They got A grade and they've actually got B grade. Or it may be about any routine thing. For example, your child has lost their own thing, maybe an expensive thing, a watch or something. They dropped somewhere and they lost it. Then they are afraid that you will punish. Then they would say, I don't know where it went, somebody snatched from me, something they may say, somebody stole it from me. So they may make up stories. So actually these kids are also very interested in making up stories. So they give you stories which is far away from the fact. So now you parent, you know that they are lying and it has become a habit. If it is a one time, once in a way, ignore that at that time and later tell them, you could have told me why, what was the need for lying. This is the way you should deal. Once in a way, if it happens occasionally, you can always tell them there's no need to lie, even if you have done a mistake. They're afraid, right? So you, even if there's a mistake, tell me, I won't punish you. And stick by your words, don't punish them. Advise them, rather guide them not to repeat it again. Give them 2, 3 chances. And again, if they are repeating, then you can actually impose something. You can withdraw the benefits, or if by lying they are taking gadgets and they're telling you, no, I am not taking gadget. Then if they get caught, then you have to remove the gadget and lock it away. So you have to impose such thing. Then if it is becoming a habit, so counsel them, talk to them, and if it is causing a lot of problem in their life, in your life, seek a child counselor and take the advice. For life, they will open up with the counselor and maybe that third person will advise, then they'll understand the pros and cons and they'll get the good guidance, and they themselves have to decide not to lie, so they will understand gradually. So 10-year-old may be experimenting, so take it easy. And at the time of the incident, immediately don't try to catch them red-handed and all that. It's not fair. Later, when you come to know, you can advise them, beta, aisa kyun kiya? You would have told me. Or, I am there to guide you, even though I may tell you not to do it, but I mean, I am your well-wisher. I don't want you to get into trouble. That is why I try to protect you. So this was not the way to deal with it. You could have done something like this. You give them the advice. What was the right way of behavior, and not to cheat anyone, not to lie, not required. You can tell them. So that's it for today. Thank you, Anu, Aparna, Yukta. You also joined today. Thank you so much. I'll share the recording. Tomorrow we'll meet at same time 9:30. Please send your questions or join live and ask your questions. Any question, Anu? Can you type in the chat box? Any question from your side? Parenting questions. I'll answer it. Still 5 more minutes are there. Yes, Anu. No, no question. Okay. If you have any question, you can put it in that. Okay, you can put it in that form. Tomorrow I'll take up. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. Good night. Bye. Thank you.